I sighed in relief when I saw Brenda walk in. Maybe she was here to talk to the girls and get me out of this nightmare. But that relief quickly turned to terror when I saw Jerome walk in, holding Brenda's hand. The girls introduced me as Candy, and Jerome burst into laughter at the sight of me all dolled up. Brenda no longer saw me as a man, so chose to move on with another man. Jerome didn't waste a second before making his move on her. Not only was he my competition for the quarterback position, but he'd also been after my girl for a while. And to make things worse, I was supposed to go out on a date with the two of them. The night only got worse as I found myself sandwiched between Brenda and Jerome. They spent the evening mocking my emasculation, talking about how easily the girls had turned me into a sissy. Jerome even grabbed my waist, treating me like a lady, calling me darling and dear with a smirk on his face. I didn't even feel like putting up a fight anymore. They were right. I hadn't resisted much, and the girls barely had to try to feminize me. The estrogen pills were starting to take their toll, making me more emotional, and Jerome's teasing didn't sting as much as it used to. I felt lost in a situation that no longer seemed to shock me. Brenda left us alone for a bit, and that's when Jerome asked me to dance. I refused right away and told him to stop, but he insisted, and I couldn't say no. He took my hands, led me to the dance floor, and grabbed my waist, completely taking control of the moment. I felt powerless as I looked into his confident eyes while he whisked me around, twirling me like I was just another girl. When Brenda returned, she couldn't resist filming the whole thing. I was so lost in the moment that I didn't notice Brenda filming us. I was feeling things that I never felt with a man before. And then it just hit me that I am a man, and I snapped out of the moment. Day 28. I was still recovering from the humiliation of that date night. With just a couple of days left before the vacation ended, the girls decided to send me out on a shopping trip. I found myself out in public, dressed as Candy, buying lingerie, makeup kits, and browsing grocery stores, all while ticking off everything on their list. On the final day, I was shocked when some frat guys came over to invite the sorority girls to the annual frat party. I had almost forgotten about it. It's the party right after summer vacation, the day before college starts. The girls were excited and immediately started planning their outfits, including mine. They had already picked out a dress for me. For the last time, I dropped to my knees and begged them to keep me away from this party. I couldn't let the frat boys see me like this. But the girls gave me an ultimatum. Either I attend the party dressed as Candy, or they would share the video of my intimate dance with Jerome to all the frat boys at the event. They promised me that after this party, I can be free to do whatever I want. I felt somewhat relieved when they assured me that they would delete all the footage of my time as Candy after the party. To make sure no one would recognize me, I asked the girls to go all out on my appearance and make me look like a real woman. They accepted the challenge with enthusiasm. They started by piercing my ears and nose, giving me a padded bra to enhance my bust. The estrogen pills had already done their part, giving me small, natural breasts. At first, they had planned to dress me in a simple gown, but now they chose a sexy, slit purple sequined designer gown for the party. After hours of expert work on my hair, makeup, and outfit, I was finally ready to make my debut as Candy at the frat party. At the party, I was relieved that no one seemed to recognize me. I stood in a corner, doing my best to avoid attention. But with the way I looked, men couldn't help but swarm around me, flirting and showering me with attention. I felt overwhelmed and didn't know how to handle it. That's when Jerome appeared, rescuing me by taking me to a private room. He treated me like a lady again, making sure I felt protected. Strangely, I started to feel butterflies in my stomach. As Jerome complimented my beauty, I found myself blushing like a shy little girl. When Jerome leaned in for a kiss, I couldn't resist. I gave in completely. Passion took over us, and we made out like nothing else mattered. I wasn't sure what was happening to me, whether it was the hormones, the lifestyle, or the fact that Jerome was just so irresistible. But I was caught up in the moment, unable to pull away. Then, he broke the kiss and confessed something that shook me to my core. He revealed that feminizing me had been his plan all along. He wanted Brenda, and the easiest way to get me out of the picture was to manipulate me. Jerome had tipped off the sorority girls about my arrival, setting the whole thing in motion. But what he hadn't planned on was how attractive I'd become. And now his attraction to me was undeniable. I should have been furious, but instead, I felt a mix of emotions I couldn't fully understand. In that moment, none of it mattered. I wanted him just as much as he wanted me. I leaned in and kissed him again, with more passion than before. Whatever his motives had been, I didn't care anymore. We ended up on the bed, and Jerome took control, deflowering me and making love to me multiple times. I couldn't remember the last time I had felt so exhilarated, so lost in the intensity of it all. When it was over, I fell asleep in his arms, completely exhausted, yet oddly at peace. My time with the girls was over, and I was free to return to my old life as a man, but I couldn't bring myself to make that decision. The thought of that night with Jerome stirred something deep inside me, making me want to stay as Candy forever. As college started, I made the choice to embrace my new identity fully. I officially enrolled as a woman, changing my name to Candy, and even joined the sorority house. Living with Brenda and Jerome as the third lover, things felt strangely natural. Though there was some initial bullying and awkwardness, over time, everyone accepted me as Candy. Brenda and Jerome stood by my side throughout everything, supporting me in ways I never expected. I'm grateful to them for being there for me, holding my hand as I found my true self. As a man, I always dreamed of having a threesome, but I never imagined I would experience it like this. Being with Brenda was always fun, but being with Jerome took things to a whole other level. I looked forward to being swept away by his strong, confident presence. Wanting to stay connected to football, I decided to become a cheerleader for the team. Now, I cheer not just for my lover, but also for my former teammates. Jerome has become a star quarterback, breaking records left and right. I couldn't help but beam with pride as he came over to embrace me and kiss me after breaking my own record. It felt surreal to be part of this new chapter in my life, celebrating both his achievements and our unique relationship. If you enjoyed this story and would like to see more, consider subscribing to my channel. I also upload exclusive content on Patreon, so feel free to check it out if you're interested in more. Thank you so much for watching and supporting.